there was moments where I just was not able to be happy with my wife, with my children, and they were sensing it. I could see that relationship deteriorating. I could see the path that she was going. I could see my son, who's now 9 and he was 7 at the time, his unhappiness in himself. Our relationship with my wife, there was nothing there. The traditional or prototypical a million miles apart while we're 2 feet apart. That was every night. And it all came from within me. I just wasn't happy with myself.
Guys, have you ever wondered what it's like to be on the other side of a TPM journey? To really hear from men, real men just like you, who have gone through the journey and have walked the path that you may be considering walking. As a father, as a man, as a leader, as a husband. Well, if so, today you're in for a treat. I have an amazing man with me who I've just pulled out of day 3 of the Alpha Reset. Is here volunteering at that to give back to other men. And that guy is Mr. Kelly Disiewich.
Yes, thank you, Tim.
How you doing, brother?
I am doing amazing. My heart is full.
Yeah. Why?
Well, the opportunity to come and volunteer here has been one of the greatest gifts I've had in a long time. It's been an amazing gift the last 3 days as we head into the end towards the end of day 3. It's been just an amazing gift.
You're glowing. You're just constantly smiling. It's awesome.
That's something that came out of my original reset, and I've after some of the initial part wears off after a bit, I've found my ability to bring that back, and this reset that I've been able to help at, we'll dive into that, and I'll share what that's done for me.
Just dive in, brother. Share, yeah.
One of the most amazing things about this experience, versus my original reset is the ability to share and feel each man's journey that I'm helping hold space for along the way. And that gift to be able to toggle between holding space for other men and then when the time is right to reflect on yourself and where you've come from and where you get to go and what feelings come up from that when you're hearing those stories, what that means to yourself.
Beautiful. Let's dive into that. Where have you come from?
Oh, man. If I go back 2 years ago, wasn't in a great place. Had a very similar story to a lot of men, but it was my story. Have a wife and two children. Divorce wasn't imminent. Maybe it was a lot closer as I got into the TPM and did some reflection on probably how close it just was to all falling apart. But the trigger was just my unhappiness. I look back now, and you mentioned a smile and a glow. So I look back at pictures with myself and my family, and there was just a sadness. There was a sadness in the eyes and in my smile that wasn't there. And it was in my heart. There was moments where I just was not able to be happy with my wife, with my children, and they were sensing it. My daughter at the time, 2 years ago was 14. I have a 16-year-old daughter now, and I could see that relationship deteriorating. I could see the path that she was going. I could see my son, who's now 9 and he was 7 at the time, his unhappiness in himself. Our relationship with my wife, there was nothing there. The traditional or prototypical a million miles apart while we're 2 feet apart. That was every night. And it all came from within me. I just wasn't happy with myself. So I got on a call with Sophia, which, I'm going to detour a little bit here. I got to meet Sophia, 4 days ago when I showed up to the ranch. got to meet Sophia in person, and it was really reflective to speak with her and hear the reflection for someone that met me today versus who I was 2 years ago. And the voice and the eyes and the smile, she noticed such a big difference. And I didn't need validation, but I it was interesting to hear her perspective from back where I was 2 years ago, because that's just a totally different person than I am today.
Wow. It's hard to put into words, isn't it?
It really is hard to put into words. It's because it isn't words. It's a feeling. It's an energy. And that, for me, that is by far the most massive thing that's changed. We're reflecting on day 2 yesterday and the end of day 2, which if you've been through a reset, you know what day 2 is. If you haven't, then you won't until you get here. Oh, my energy, I get to reconnect with that. And that's been my biggest difference, was feeling what that energy was. It was always there. And my ability to share love and a smile with, that's been the biggest impact to my family.
So let's talk about that a little bit, because I imagine a guy listening to this and thinking, energy, like, what does that mean? Like, I just don't get it. I understand what he means when he says he was unhappy and he was sad, and I can relate. But because the guy hasn't been through it, it may not get what it means with this energy idea. So let's talk about the impact that energy, if you will, has had on you and your family. And take it away, brother. I'd love to hear.
Yeah, for sure. For me, my journey of energy, which can mean something different to everyone, but my energy has been from a place of love and that ability to share a loving energy to give to other people, and not force. It's been a force. It's been a feeling of loving energy that I've been able to bring to my family. I can share from last night, as connecting and reflecting on what the men had just went through, and the love I had for them and where they had come from. For some reason, my daughter popped into my mind. Well, she's in my mind a lot, and as the rest of my family is, but I was able to send love to her without being in the same room, where, I'm from up in Canada and I'm sitting here in Oregon, and my ability to send love to her from here, she felt it. She sent me a text this morning, and was unscripted text about how much she loves me, and felt a love. And she shared how grateful she was for, where our relationship was, and she was happy with, generally content about where our family was.
Wow. Yeah. What biggest difference have you seen in your daughter these past 2 years as you have been on this journey?
Her trust in me. By sharing my loving energy with her, I've created a space where she feels safe. She comes to me with things now that she just never would have in the past. We've got a relationship that has come from a place where we yelled at each other, didn't talk on any depth, and she just didn't want to be around me. I came home from the reset with an energy from love that was just palpable, and she felt it the first. Where we've come from 2 years ago, and I can share with this, she's got a nickname for me now, and it's called New Dad. It's an ND thing, is what her and my wife Morgan were talking, and one day they're sitting there talking, and we're in the same room, and I said, "Oh, what were you guys texting?" She's like, she shared, and in there was, ND's doing this today, and I was like, "Well, what's ND? You don't know who that is? We've been saying it for like 2 months. Like, it's New Dad." And it was amazing to hear that, and that was probably just a couple months after the reset, where it was just an energy of I'll keep going back to it, love, but that love had created an environment that they just were comfortable to flourish in themselves. And to me, that was the greatest gift I gave them.
I keep putting myself in the mind of a guy listening to this who might hear this love and think, that's nice, but does that mean just becoming a walkover? Does that mean just becoming soft and having no boundaries and not having a backbone?
Absolutely not. It's for me, the love was something I was able to give to other people and create an environment, but it didn't mean I found my fierceness while being able to give love.
Wow.
Where in the past I had love in there, but it was either from a position of weakness where I was expecting something to come back, or was just a walkover and was doing something from, a perspective that they might love what I was giving them, and not loving myself from there.
There's an incredible amount of detachment that can come, right? When you're able to find that love both for yourself and for others, and find that fierceness and speak your voice and be who you want to be without expecting anything in return, without caring what people think. There's an amazing sense of freedom that exists in that space.
Freedom's an interesting word. It's I was journaling last night, and that was the word that popped in my head was freedom. I felt, I was reflecting over the last 10 months since I did my reset, and free was a word I wrote down in my journal. And it was just, that feeling that I am comfortable doing whatever I want to do from a place of within. Like I feel direction. Yeah. I'm just reflecting right now on what that means. It's a feeling of clarity that's come about in where I'm going and what I get to share with other people.
How does that make you feel?
As you can see or not see, it's a feeling of peacefulness. I don't feel anxious or needy, or I just feel a place of content of knowing where I want to go and what that means to me.
What advice would you give to somebody who is listening to this? They're feeling stuck, feel like they're spinning their wheels, they're unhappy, they know there's more out there for them, and they're thinking about doing the activation method for self, which is what includes the reset, but they're just scared. They're just not taking that step. What would you say to them?
What I'd say is it's the greatest gift you can give to yourself. The greatest gift you can give to yourself is doing the work for yourself, and just jump. That's all it takes. Any of the men that I've met and being able to become brothers with, we all hesitated when we first got to that line. All you need to do is get across there, and there is something on the other side. That peacefulness, that love, that satisfaction that you're looking for. It's not going to come from anyone else outside. It's going to come from you taking that time for yourself and giving that gift to yourself.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt this episode, but the reality is if you are watching or listening to this right now, then you are looking to better yourself. And I applaud you. You're one of my people. And I want to give you the opportunity of taking massive action. So if you haven't joined the activation method yet, it's our flagship program. Do what thousands of other businessmen just like you have done and take action. Be one of the 1%ers that actually does the work and takes action. There'll be a link in the description that'll take you right to a page that'll just give you more information. There is no obligation. Just go check it out and see if it's a good fit for you. All right, let's get back to this episode.
So let's switch gears a little bit. Before we do, I feel I need to say this. Just thinking about when we met for the first time in Banff in October. That was 9 months ago now? We're in July. Yeah, roughly-ish, thereabouts. The man I have the luxury of being with right now, I mean, the guy in October was brilliant, but the guy here today is another level. And kudos to you, brother, for doing the work.
Well, thank you, Tim. That means a lot.
Yeah, kudos to you for doing the work.
Well, thank you.
You deserve every bit of happiness, success, fulfillment, freedom
Yes.
that it is that you're getting right now. I am unsurprised that your daughter is coming to you with things that she previously wasn't. I'm unsurprised she's sending you random unsolicited texts telling you how much she loves you. I mean, your health and fitness has gone to another level. I was working out with you the morning. I'm like, shit, damn, Kelly, slow down. It's a partner workout. You're killing me. But you were great. It's incredible. The path you're on is just remarkable.
Yeah, it's funny you just said that because we were just inside listening to, a part of the reset, and it reminded me not to dim my light. I've shared a small glimpse into how great my life is now. My business is doing better than it ever has, growing 20% year over year while I work 20% less. It's, it's amazing. My wife with my relationship with my wife, with Morgan, if we go back a year ago before I came to the reset, it was on the brink. We were both so upset, so unhappy. I go back now and, the text I get while I'm here, we're just in a totally different level where we're loving each other for once. We weren't there for maybe since we were married, maybe. So that's 15, 17 years. We're there, she's sending those texts, that men, don't need, but love to hear. It's, it's a feeling of gratitude, of gratefulness. When I, told her that I was going to be coming to help out at a reset, there wasn't a bigger supporter. She's like, yeah, we don't have anything. Fuck, go do it. And I didn't need her to tell me to go do it. I was, she was my biggest supporter. She was, she knows, she's felt the benefits of going through this. My children have felt the benefit. My family has felt the benefit.
The thing that often comes to me when you're in this space is at this point, it now becomes about what's your capacity to receive? Because all the joy and the love and the success and the energy all comes flooding in. And it can be kind of overwhelming, right? It can easily bring tears to your eyes and your heart's burst wide open, and the magic of life just, it's like you figure out a cheat code, right? And instead of swimming upstream fighting the tides, you're able to turn around and swim downstream and let the tide take you. And in my experience, don't know what you think, but in my experience, for me, it's been in that space, it becomes a process of breathing, relaxing, and how much more can I handle? How much more joy and happiness can I take? In a good way, like intentionally increasing my capacity to receive and hold space for more and more and more, because it's so overwhelming in the most positive way.
Yeah. I feel that, Tim. It's, and as I feel that joy that comes in and expand my capacity, I feel more capacity to reach more people.
Well said.
Yeah. It's not something that you have to hold. You get to flow it out to more people. And that's my,
I love that.
That's been something that I've got to, I've been able to over the last, especially the last kind of 3 months is connect with people and share that love and joy that they don't necessarily maybe have at that point in need.
It's kind of like going from being dead to being alive.
Totally.
So what's it like being having gone through the reset with these guys the past few days?
Yeah. It's, first of all, it's exhausting. The ability to, to hold space for these men and see where they've come from and watch them go through that journey that you've went through yourself, get to see that. And you've got that joy for them. You can see what they need to do to get to that other side. And they're right there, they're right there. And to watch them, get to that line and step over. It's, man, that's where this smile comes from, is that joy to see them get through to that other side. You talk about receiving joy. It's tiring holding space for them, but then that inflow of joy that comes after that is just, it's amazing, and allows you to reflect on, has allowed me to reflect on where I've come from and where I get to go next.
Your drive home is going to be a fun one.
It,
Sitting there reflecting. I remember one of the first resets I did. Well, I think it was a third reset that we did. But it was the first time where we didn't do it in the mountains and just did it in a location. Yeah. And the processes you guys go through now. It was the first real time that we did those processes. And I remember going to record a video afterwards with the guy that was delivering it with me. And I was literally speechless. Yeah. Just, I couldn't believe what had happened. Like the transformations in the guys. And that drive home, just those few hours of reflection, I just had the biggest smile on my face. Just contemplating, to your point, what next and what had been. And I just loved that space of just reflection. It was wonderful.
Yeah, I look forward to that. I get 10 hours of going home tomorrow, which is, just a gift that I'm so excited to reflect on what I've been able to share with these men here and receive and where I get to go from here. It's an amazing journey.
So we have a lot of guys in the movement who raise their hand to be volunteers at this.
Yes.
A lot of men who want to raise their hand to be volunteers at this, but for one reason or other, they don't make it. What would you say to those guys in the movement that are thinking about raising their hand and volunteering and giving back?
Just get your ass here. It's, man, the ability to reflect on where you've come from. We've got, the men that have been through a reset and are in the brotherhood. We're playing at a different level. And I think sometimes we forget that, on how far we've come and what we have to share with these men. We were sitting in those, in those chairs at one point, and we've got some perspective to share with them that might help, maybe it helps one person get across that line. But think of how many lives that one person gets to impact. It's just amazing to see that stone drop in the water and the ripple effect. That's what this is that ripple effect that we get to give to so many people.
I get goosebumps. Yeah, our mission is to save the kids by saving the fathers first. You're a testament to that. You've just come and played a huge role in helping other men experience the same thing. So I want to say thank you for helping us to further our mission. And you playing such a key role in helping to save the men in there, which, to your point, they go home and that will have a ripple effect on their kids. So thank you.
I received that. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the movement. It's been life-changing.
So guys, wow. If you're thinking about volunteering at a reset, just do it. If you're thinking about attending a reset, just do it. Listening to this, what do you really have to lose? It sounds to me like you have everything to gain. So we'll see you next time on The Powerful Man Show.